We are live. I have my douche tooth in my ear, testing with Dan. Dan, I just said douche tooth on. I'm trying to see what the heck is going on with my screen and audio issues. And it's on the proper account. Are you getting the notifications, Dan? Okay, it looks like we're coming on. Oh, there we go. That's what's happening. I thought nobody liked us anymore because I was streaming from another. So for those that are joining us right now, I have my douche tooth in my ear talking to Dan. Can I say douche tooth, Dan? Will YouTube like that? What's up, brown sugar? So this is a Sennheiser Bluetooth. It's actually a really good Bluetooth. So now, okay, good. I was a little bit worried. I've been doing all these and nobody's hopping on the streams. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it turns out, I guess it was defaulting to our other YouTube account. So that's good. So people are joining. That is good. Dan, do you have the notification? All right. Are you on the call, Dan? Okay, cool. So we're testing my audio. First of all, number one. So for anybody that's like, oh my gosh, what is going on with Bullish Bears audio? I would say relax, chill out. People are dying with a virus, and couple people are saying what's going on with the audio. So let me address audio issues. Number one, I was having audio issues and I didn't know what it was. So if you heard my past couple of videos, I was saying I'm trying to get this fixed. And so obviously you have to do some tests to figure it out. Dan, I'll let you go in my ear. Just do some chat with me. So I was saying, guys, I'm trying to do the audio issues. In one of my last videos, someone's like giving me some shade, right? And so I was saying, I was trying to figure it out. So I didn't know what it was. And it was probably packet loss, Dan was maybe suggesting. Maybe voice degradation or packet loss issue. So I reset my modem. So when I was having issues, I unplugged the modem for about a minute, plugged it back in. And you guys can tell me now, whoever's listening, are you hearing any garbled or messy or jumbled on your end, or do you hear me great? Is the Bullish Bears going out of business because our audio is terrible right now? You tell me. Can you guys hear me okay? Test, 1, 2. There's no breakups. I'll wait for Dan to get on. Let me know. Otherwise, I can give you the awkward pause. Excellent. Angel in the end zone. Yes, everybody's crystal clear. So good news to the person that put the comments. Bullish Bears has proper audio. Everything's fine. I'm sorry during the coronavirus crisis that you had some choppy audio. All right. Now, Dan, we'll go to Dan's now. There's a service called TikTok, right? TikTok's a very popular application. How people use TikTok, it's not like using a screen and showing a chart and a graph or wherever on your computer screen. So what happens is, and I don't know why we love TikTok, it's very stupid that on their TikTok application, you can only use it in a portrait mode instead of landscape. You can only use it in portrait mode. So on TikTok, Dan is trying to give you guys lots of good, useful information quickly, right? Because there's some people that'll say, hey, Lucian, you talk too much. Your videos are too long, right? So then Dan will do a quick TikTok video, give you some nuggets on his phone. It's not the perfect style. Again, it's not his fault that TikTok only does portrait view instead of landscape. So then we throw a minute video up, and then there's some people that said, hey, what's going on with the quality of Bullish Bears videos? Guys, we did a TikTok video. We put them on there to make it kind of fun and silly. So it's not so just, so see, everybody's still bitching and moaning right now. We have a coronavirus crisis. People are dying. People are freaking out. and people are concerned about bullish bears audio. So people I triggered today. So as you can see, I can do my Oprah imitation. You get a bailout, Brown Sugar. Marsha, you get a bailout. Mad Phil, you get a bailout. Angel, you get a bailout. Dan, you get a bailout. Lucian, shut your cell phone off. My cell phone is off. Oh, why is it not working right now? Huh. My phone's on. Put in airplane mode. I can do that. Wait, I'll put it in airplane mode if there's still a problem. So what I did was I reset my modem. And if you guys are not hearing any messly or jumble or garbaccio, then it should have worked. But I will put in airplane mode if that's the case. You'll take a bailout. Yes, Marsha, you get a bailout. There you go. Whatever you need. I see some infighting today. It glitched. Ah, man. I wonder if it's because the camera's zooming in and out on me. You want me to? I'll put it in airplane mode right now, and we'll say, let's try that. How the heck do you? Okay, we'll do that. All right, so I'm in airplane mode now, and now we will test and see if there's any more glitches. Dan is not only is he an amazing owner and person and human being. Usually, guys, I have the technical issues. For whatever reason, everything works and then it stops. All right, so Dan says it could be. So we're eliminating any technical interference because we want to make sure the coronavirus pandemic, we have perfect bears because God forbid somebody's uncomfortable at home with a little bit of choppy audio. It cannot happen to have that happen, right? So now when I'm trying to make, it kind of ruins my mojo when I'm trying to make these videos and then things don't work out. I'm paranoid about audio stuff. So, all right. So no more interference. What's going on, guys? Everybody out there, you can see the daily charts on futures right now. I don't even know what you call this. I don't even know what you call it. Really far down with some bear flags and a bullish harami on the daily with kind of a high wave-ish candlestick, which is just crazy. So we will see what happens. Did they officially say yet today how much money they're going to send people? That's it. I just see so many news headlines right now. I know they were talking about potentially $500, and then I saw potentially $1,000. So anybody hear what the official word and who's going to get it? I know when they talked about the rumor of people potentially getting $1,000, I know someone asked a very good question of, will millionaires get the $1,000 too? Right? Said to me today, how come somebody doesn't say, hey, that's pretty cool. Like maybe some people that, maybe you start off with, hey, thank you for people that might not have money getting some money and then follow it up. But no, I just see right off the bat is, do millionaires get it? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with our world. How is everybody holding up with this whole thing here? Are we going to be shutting down? What's your guys' thoughts? They're going to shut soon? My thoughts are yes, but we'll see. I could get the thousands from those millionaires. Yes. That's true. Somebody was saying that it actually makes sense if you really think about it, that there was a particular candidate that was running recently that has a lot of millions. He has billions. There was a candidate that has billions, and that candidate could give $1 million to every single American, and it would have been less money than he spent on his campaign. I don't know if that's true. That makes sense. True, right? I think there's 300 something million Americans. So if you're worth whatever, All those billions. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if someday some multi-billionaire said, hey, I'm going to give, so I'm worth $50 billion, and I'm going to give every American, let's say there's 350 million Americans. I'm going to give every American $1 million. That's $350 million. That could happen. I wonder why nobody does that. That'd be interesting if somebody did that one day. I'd take it. You know what I wouldn't ask? So if a billionaire came right now, here's what I would. So let's pretend that happened right now. Mr. or Mrs. Multi-billionaire says, hey, I'm going to give every American $1 million today. If I was a reporter, you know what I wouldn't ask? I would, number one, I would say, wait, oh yeah, that's actually a good point. You're right. It's not a, wait, what is it? I'm going to look into it. What is 300? So wait, how does that work? 350 million. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so I got tricked. You're right. That's a good point. See, my math, I look stupid, don't I? What does that come out to, Stuart? So I guess that, see, this is where you get tricked on both sides of the media. Right? That's a future. Well, you know what? Somebody's got to be worth 350 trillion out there, right? Right? Is someone out there? That's a good point. Okay, 4,000 per person. All right. So that, all right. So now my theory, my whole joke went down the tubes right there. I was going to say, here's what I was going to say, but it doesn't matter. If somebody all decided to give us $1 million each today, my first question wouldn't be, are you going to give a millionaire $1 million? My first thing would be, thank you. And then maybe I would have asked that, right? So my joke just went down the tubes there. It didn't go very well. All right. So what is 4,000 per person? What is that? Ball is life. What do you mean about 4,000 per person? Yeah, that's fine. Like, I get it, right? But can't just listen, man. Again, this is not a political thing, but can somebody just say something nice, right? If you just again, if you hate the president and I get it, right? Whatever. If you hate him, that's fine. Can somebody say something nice? Hey, thank you for thinking of somebody that doesn't have money. Then maybe ask your negative question. They just can't do it. It's always just there's so much hatred. Oh, that's how much it comes out to, around 4,000 per person. Who's giving the money? Who's giving? I'm confused what you're saying, Ball's life. Well, he is, right? So he is talking about, he is alluding, right? So, Trump or the Fed? I thought I heard $1,000. I didn't hear 4,000. Who the heck knows at this point? Maybe that's changed since then. I thought I was hearing $1,000. Okay, the world market cap is supposedly 69 trillion. The stimulant money. What's happening? I heard today, addedly, I was hearing that they were looking to bring to the Senate to get who knows what Americans. I don't know who's, probably not millionaires. I don't know who's going to get it, but supposedly anywhere between $500 to $1,000. And I was hearing end of April, but I don't know if anything's changed. And then I heard Mitch McConnell was saying they won't leave until something comes through. So, oh, you think that, stimulant? Yeah, I think they boosted it from 250 billion to $1 trillion something in stimulant money, but only time will tell. Well, guess what, Ball is life? You get a bailout, and addedly, you get a bailout, and Ron, you get a bailout. Everybody gets a bailout. The Fed has no money. They have your money, taxes, so it is your money. Yeah, they'll just print it. Now, Trump was saying, guys, if you've been paying attention, he said it a couple times now. He said he's been talking about the most epic bounce, right? A big, huge. Will somebody get mad if a huge bailout, a huge bounce, right? He's talking about a huge bounce. So who knows, right? Those tools of the Fed, guys, got to remember, we'll see what happens, but those tools have been used the past 8 years with quantitative easing, right? So we'll see what happens if we go. Have you guys, let me kind of just go back to logical thinking. This is where I try to tell you guys, if you've been kind of saying things or following us for a while or following our social media, sometimes we say things to try to get you to think. Obviously, I tell you guys, we all have different political affiliations and views on the team. We don't all agree on the same exact things. So think about that, guys, right? We run a business, and me, Tim, and Dan don't all have 100% the same political views. So how do we run a business together and get along with different political views? It's called being human beings that are rational, right? You can get along with people with different views, right? Maybe we'll figure that out as a society. Anyways, so a few months ago, back in December, you will hear, before this whole coronavirus thing came down the pike, Trump, back even December, I think even beforehand, he was talking about negative interest rates. So now he's really hammering negative interest rates. But why was he asking for, if you think about it, Trump was asking for negative interest rates with stock market at all-time highs before it even went crazier. Like, I was making videos in December saying, hey guys, be aware of the stock market being, overextended, be careful of 2020. All those videos I made those videos, and then the market still went up. I don't even know how much more it went. It was a decent jump up, move up. So as the market's at all-time highs, and I'm saying, hey guys, be careful, he's talking about Ron says these low interest rates combined with cash infusions and now handouts are scary as loot. So can we show or hide that? If you guys don't mind, we'll allow that. we'll allow the F-bomb, right? It is. This ain't good stuff. But go back, guys, go back a second, right? So they were talking Trump tweeted back in December, negative interest rates when the stock market's at all-time highs and everything's wonderful. But the stocks were super overextended, and then the bottom drops out recently, right? So what I try to keep telling people, guys, none of us can predict the coronavirus, right? But stock charts show or imply something to be aware of, right? When the market goes way up high, like it was way, way, way up there, it's natural for it to want to pull back and sometimes really drastically drop. And remember, anytime billionaires or people that have tons of money buy and sell stuff, you can't hide it from the stock charts. So us people, we don't know what's exactly happening, but the stock charts can teach you of what to be aware of, right? So now he's projecting negative interest rates way back then when everything's great. And now, obviously, it looks like we really are going to need them. So it's interesting, like now we may really need them to save things potentially. But way back then when we didn't need them, he's asking for it. Anybody think about, again, so just stop, right? If you hate Trump or love Trump, just stop for a second and just take your emotions out of it and think about that. Stock market, way all-time highs. The president's asking for negative interest rates. Here we are, the bottom falls out of everything. Everybody's freaking out. Now he's asking for negative interest rates. So he's asking for it now when everything is terrible, and he was asking for it when everything is great. Have you guys thought about the logic of that and what that means? Just thinking, right? Take your emotions of your feelings personally about him as a president. Think about, was something going on back then that he wanted us to be aware of? I don't know. All I know is if you guys go back to his tweet history back in December, I believe before Christmas, he was asking for negative interest rates when everything was wonderful. Now here, everything is looking terrible, and he's asking for negative interest rates again. Anybody? Bueller out there? You guys putting that together? What are your guys' thoughts on it? I don't know, but I find it very interesting. Stuart says the Fed has no money. They have your, I'm not coughing, by the way, because I'm sick. I cough because I have allergies and I clear my throat. So don't worry about me right now. I'm actually in I think I'm doing the responsible thing, guys. I believe I am now self-quarantining. I'm taking the initiative to self-quarantine because I feel I'm not Nostradamus and I can't predict the future and I'm not a psychic, but I'm feeling like we're being prepared to shut down in the United States. I got prepared. I was prepped through this. If you guys watch my previous 2 videos, I was making videos about prepping, and I'm sorry the audio cut in and out and may trigger some of you guys, but that was because my computer does stuff and I don't know why. So now I think I'm self-quarantining. So I was trying to get my audio and the video, all this stuff to work. Hopefully, is anybody having audio issues hearing me? Am I crackling? Am I good to go now? Maybe Dan suggested that I put my phone in airplane mode. So I'm wondering if it was causing interference. So if we have audio issues that are great now, then maybe I can make these videos and not tick people off with crappy audio. All right. So Stuart says, let's see. Yang is probably screaming. That's what I said. Hate to say it, but I will be definitely investing that money. Oh, now I'm going to wear them just to trigger. Addedly says, I hate those red glasses you used to wear. Made you look. I can't say because I don't want. These are not red. They are orange. Dan gave me these. So now I'm going to wear them just to trigger you. And whoever I triggered before with the audio issues, probably trigger you too. These, Ron, these low interest rates combined with cash infusions and now handouts are scary as bleep. No worries, Ron. You're forgiven. Scary as heck. See? He went politically correct. That was very nice of you. Hope they don't bamboozle us and raise prices afterwards. Who knows? That may possibly, right? Your mom works for the CDC. We love the CDC, right? Right? We love you, CDC. We love you, Fed. Black swans always happen. They are by nature unexpected. Trump logic. I neither love nor hate him, but sometimes his logic is way off. Huh? You know what, guys? That's where we try to tell people, right? You got to think logically, especially in all this, right? That's what I was trying to tell you in my previous videos, that my audio is crackling in and out. Something I was like, so let's say you were a Trump supporter, right? So if you supported Trump, right? I'm sure there's times as a Trump supporter you don't like or you question what he does, right? So part of you can say, because logically, a lot of people, my logical question, not saying I'm a Trump supporter or not a Trump supporter, but my logical question just in general was, hey, if all these other places were shutting down and it's a big problem, why doesn't Trump shut things down, right? So why didn't Trump just think logically for a moment. Why didn't Trump shut down the U.S.? Now everybody's freaking out, right? Why didn't he shut things down, a few weeks ago? Because it's a problem. And so my brain, I don't know the answer to the question, right? But my logic, I try to think logic and I say, if you just immediately told 350 million people that have never basically been told no since basically the Great Depression, that you're going to shut down their country overnight and nobody's prepared, just logically, what would happen, right? Think about it. People would lose, I don't even know the mass amount of pandemonium or chaos. So I'm not saying that's why he did or didn't do anything, but if you think logically, that would make sense to me, right? But every day since, something new comes out, more and more and more and more and more. Forgetting whether you like or dislike how he's handling things, can we agree that this week, people, if he was to shut the country down, people are probably, in general, more people are prepared this week more than they were last week. More people last week were prepared more than they were the week before. So logic says if you just say bad news every single day and it comes out, people are starting to take it more seriously. More people are prepared. If you wipe out the grocery stores and there's not as many stuff on the shelves, chances are people have a lot of stuff. It might be okay to shut things down. Do I know if he's going to shut things down? No, but it would make sense. I'm prepared for him to shut down. And if he doesn't, I'm prepared, right? So that's my thinking along the process. And then, so like, right, let's say he does shut things down. Who the heck knows at this point what the stock market will do? I'm sure it's probably not going to do good, right? So if you shut down the country, I'm sure it will probably drop more. It would make sense. So then he keeps talking, right, guys, right? He's talking about the biggest bounce, huge, biggest bounce you ever seen. Well, what can he do? Well, the Fed's been doing a lot of stuff over the past 8 years with quantitative easing and stuff. So maybe the bottom drops out. Everybody's prepared. Maybe the virus gets taken care of. And then we have the biggest bounce we've ever seen because maybe they do negative interest rates. So maybe this, again, I don't know, guys. I'm just, my logical brain just thinking, because this is crazy. The bottom drops out, catastrophic drop. Maybe we go on lockdown for a few weeks in the USA. Maybe everybody, now they're safe, not enjoyable. Sorry, you got to spend more time with your friends and family and your kids, right? Maybe you got to put down your cell phone and put some quality time with your friends and family. Maybe not such a bad thing, right? Some of you peeps, right? Myself included. And then maybe we come out of it okay, ideally. And then negative interest rates, and then maybe we have this crazy huge bounce. Maybe. That's very possible. I do have another logical question to think about to see what you guys think on this. I'm not saying who brought things here. All I will stay away from that. Aside from weaker currency with negative interest rates, cash will be out. He wanted to be the voice. I mean, that's the thing, guys, right? So just think about it, right? Guys, if you hate Trump, think about it a minute. Just think logically for a minute. If you hate Trump, I'm not saying for you to like Trump or dislike Trump, regardless. If you hate Trump, he's a president of a country, right? If you don't, like, the people are not aware. Everybody could go a few weeks ago, right? Even up until last week. Myself, many people I know were not taking this seriously, right? I don't know how bad or not bad this is, but I'm taking it seriously because they tell me to take it seriously. I'm a younger guy. If I get it, I could be a carrier. They're saying I can pass it on to somebody else. Do I know if that's true or not? I don't know. I'm taking that seriously. So I don't want to be a jerk. And if I'm somewhat healthy and I'm prepared, now I'm taking proper precautions, right? Because they're telling me to do that. That's probably the smart thing to do, right? So where was I going with that? I don't know. You like it, Ron? Oh, so you like it. These frames are kind of hot in that Cellie, Jesse, Raphael kind of way. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll wear them. Let's see if I have my other ones here. No. So here's my question that I have. Here's a very, very logical question. And I want to see if anybody can answer this. And I haven't heard, excuse me, I haven't heard the answer to this question. So this is what I want to ask you guys and just get your opinion on. All I can do is try to think logically, right? So right now, I'm hearing, I don't know if it's true or not, I'm hearing China went back to work, from what I understand. Number one, can someone correct me if I'm wrong? Is China back at work, number one, right? If the answer to that question is yes, now I have two other questions, or three. How are they back? So China's back at work, right? So if they're back at work, from what I understand, there's no cure for the coronavirus, right? So there's no cure and they're back to work. Does that mean shutting things down for a month make things go away? Right? So now I got to say, is there a cure? And do they have the cure? Or is there not a cure and they are back at work because shutting things down for 2 weeks or a month solved the problem? Right? Those are logical questions, right? Or is there another thing? are there still things going on really bad that we don't know of and we don't know the proper numbers, right? I guess we'll find out. But my brain is still thinking, I don't understand logically, how are they back at work without a cure? That really, so that the only thing that would make sense if there is no cure is being shut down for whenever they were, 3 weeks or a month, they recovered and the virus dies. If that's the case and there is no cure and that's the case, then logically it would make sense to me that we would get locked down for 3 weeks or a month, things die down, and a month or so, maybe the stock market's just disastrous. We come back after a month, it dies down, negative interest rates shoot it back up. That's the way my brain's thinking. I don't know. I'm thinking about this a lot. I'm sure a lot of people are, but I'm trying to think logically, guys, right? Separate your emotions, whether you like or dislike people, and try to think about it, right? Okay. Yeah. So that's, guys, and that's the thing, guys. This is where I think it's very important for both, for all sides here, regardless of your political affiliation. I think it's important to try to find a middle ground in this, right? You're getting told, remember, we're all getting told things. We don't know, obviously, maybe for our own protection, all of the right information, right? So you got to try and think somewhat, so that's where I would say maybe, hey, if you love Trump, maybe you step away from Fox News a little bit and go to, look at some other sources like CNN or New York Times. If you hate Trump, maybe you, God forbid, turn on Fox News, learn a little bit more, or look to another thing and then find a middle ground, right? Because I'm sure there's a middle ground to everything, right? And that's why for me personally, I'm sure there's one end of the spectrum. Some people think the world's going to end tomorrow, and other people think that the virus isn't real, right? So there's probably obviously a middle ground where you take it seriously, right? I don't know. Oh boy. I'll hide that comment, right? Again, guys, so it doesn't matter if you like Trump or not. The fact of the matter is it's a matter of looking in between what is actually going on and happening. And that's where you got to think logic. So this is a perfect example. In one of my last videos, by the way, am I crackling at all my audio? Am I good to go so far? I'm not having any audio issues. If so, maybe it was the router replugging in, or maybe it was the airplane mode that changed things. So I'm hoping I'm not having any more crackling. But here's a great lesson. This is where I'm trying to tell you guys with emotions, right? So like I was saying, right now, thank you very much. Excellent, no audio issues. Thank God. See that? Bullish Bears is not out of business during the coronavirus. We're doing good. It's just Lucian has audio issues lots of time. So here's what I'm trying to teach you or tell you guys, right? So let's take a couple scenarios here, right? Trump. You love him or you hate him, right? Typically, most people have a strong emotion. There's some people I still find nowadays that are kind of indifferent. Those people surprise me. Usually it's a love or a hate kind of thing, right? So you have number one, just him as a president. You love him or hate him, right? Then you also have the scenarios of him during this tragedy, right? I mean, the coronavirus is a tragedy right now. So now it's him as a president, whether you hate him or love him. Then him during a tragedy, whether you love and hate him. Now it's very important to start taking those emotions that you are feeling. Now you have to make some life decisions, right? Very important things. Last week, whether you love or hated Trump, are you preparing for something just in case something happens? Some people are like, oh, screw him. Again, you have to say, okay, how am I going to be prepared either way on both sides of the things, right? Take information, learn, and go from it, right? So there's whether you love or hate him during a tragedy, right? Then there's the stock market, right? So instead of just, this is where I want to now tell you guys, now we go into the stock market. So in the stock market, it's trading on emotions, right? Many people fail because they bomb, and they fail because they trade on emotions, right? So it's like, oh, I believe gold, Bitcoin, right? Perfect. Let's pull up Bitcoin right now. How's the charts doing today? I know it's around 5,000. Oh boy. So Bitcoin's going to the moon. It's going to be millions of dollars. It's going to be our new, I'm going to be a Bitcoin trillionaire, right? Maybe you will. But the fact of the matter is, right, you have to look at the charts and you have to think logically. So if you believe Bitcoin is going to go to the moon or gold is going to go to the moon, the fact of the matter is you have to look at the charts and you have to think logically. The charts give you logic. So when you have this feeling like Bitcoin's going to be amazing, I'm going to become a millionaire, or gold's going to go to the moon, I'm going to be a millionaire, or this hot penny stock biotech is going to go to the moon, that's an emotion, or you might have some logic in it. Now you have to go to the charts and look, right? And this is where you have to separate your emotions, because you could say, everybody's telling me it's going to the moon. Trump is suppressing it. The government's suppressing it. This country's suppressing it, yada, yada, yada. But the fact of the matter is the charts suck. It could go up. You have to find the entry. If you bought Bitcoin at $3,000, I'm just using BTC, you'd still be up, right? But like if it goes up from 3,000 to 14,000, I'm looking at a chart, and you didn't take your profits, that's, let's say, $11,000. What you get what I'm saying? There's so many different ways to trade Bitcoin. You could take those profits, look for re-entry, come back down again, right? So that's like what it is with trading, and that's where I gave an example for you guys on, I had a friend that had a very well-known stock, company shares of a well-known stock. He sold the stock as it's kind of starting to fall and all the indecision, and he immediately goes into gold because gold is a safe haven, right? The problem was, let me look at GLD for a second here. Oh boy. Ouch. So I think he bought, I don't know what he bought in gold, but he bought where, like you guys can see, last week was one of the worst weeks in a long time, because GLD on the chart, I'm sure many of the gold stocks are like that, it formed a double top on a daily chart. So he had like a day or two where he was like super happy. And I'm sure now he's crying, because it's like, right? Because gold is the safe haven. The stock market's tanking. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to gold because it's a safe haven, and I'm going to become rich. I'm going to become rich off of gold, right? Rich. I'm going to buy and I'm going to hold. Problem is, if you buy at a top, when is it going to come back again? If Trump gives us big boost again, that could tank gold for a while. It might be a temporary boost, but it might take years. So you bought at a top. And that's the problem with our system and a lot of financial advisors. Again, we love financial advisors, but most of them don't understand or know, or maybe they don't want to know stock charts, right? So when you talk to your advisor and you're doing things, if they don't know a chart, that could be a very big problem. I know this person went to somebody who's a very successful advisor, and now I feel bad. I haven't talked to this person lately because I don't really need to. I'm sure they're probably not feeling good. So they sold their stock on the way down. When I gave a warning, they should have probably sold a while ago because it was at a top. I'm just a trader, right? Their financial advisor should have told them that, right? If you're a super successful financial advisor, you should have probably saw the top of the market, said, hey, maybe you should go a little bit safe here right now. Keep your profits. Well, what happens? Hey, the market's going to go back up. Guess what, guys? I told, like, if you've been watching my videos, I've been showing you guys, right? If you bought, where's the dip? I see we're on the third dip right now, right? So you had a huge dip hammer on a daily on 228. That was the dip, right? Guess what? On what was this? On futures. I'm just going to futures. You have about 228 down to 38. So what is that? A week later, a little over a week later, you bought the dip on 228. Now you're crying on 39. You're buying it there. And then look at this week. I mean, it's, so the problem is you have to know when to buy, right? When to buy and either potentially hold or buy, take your profits, come back, look for reentry. That's the problem with the system. And a lot of these long-term investors buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. I've been yelling at people, and nobody listens in our Facebook group too. People are talking about, hey, greatest time to buy. Well, maybe, but not right now. What if the country shuts down in 2 days? Maybe the stock market will skyrocket if it shuts down. I don't know. Logic would tell me it's probably not going to skyrocket. But Trump has been saying we're going to have the biggest bounce ever. So my thought process is maybe we get shut down, the stock. Maybe, again, I don't know. I'm going to watch the charts. I'm just talking through logic, and then I look at charts, right? You see, I'm not going on emotions, guys. I think logically, regardless of how I feel about a person. And then, so now my logic as a trader, okay, what may or may not come? Let's filter the information from both sides. Let's look at a stock chart and see what the stock chart shows. I'm looking at a stock chart today, daily, of the futures, and I see a big green high wave candle that's a bullish harami, but now it's like, it may be a harami that might move back up, but it's a high wave and you can trap. So what do I do, right? And it's near angular resistance on the hourly, I believe. Yeah, it kind of has it's kind of getting near resistance. So much uncertainty, right? So if I just said, I'm going to buy right now because the stock market's just buy the dip. Well, is this a dip? I don't know. The past 2 weeks, there's been these huge dips, and those people that bought the dip are not feeling so good right now. Does that make sense? All right, let me see what you guys say. I just went on a rant right now. Interesting. So Sakura, I think you said you like Andrew Yang, LeBron. Wow. Woof. Yeesh. There's lots of words here. I see LeBron. I see Rogan. I see Yang. I see Trump. I see McAfee. This is where, woof, lots of trigger words here right now. You're going to buy Tesla at 350 tomorrow. Let me take a look. Oh, ouch. So that's, speaking of which, that I don't want to laugh, but I'm going to laugh. The reason why I'm laughing is my friend, this was last week or this weekend. He had he called me and he said he has $10,000 and he's really looking to buy Tesla. I was like, dude, the charts look awful on this, man. You got to find a reversal on this. And this was, it wasn't down to this price right now. It was less than a week ago. So probably in the $500-$600, right? But he wants to buy Tesla because Tesla's the future. And it may be but look at that chart. So what I'm not saying to not buy Tesla, but that when I'm looking on that daily chart right now is that 200 SMA around $369. You want to see that thing hold and have good reversal, a good bounce off of that. The problem is these candlesticks are so wacky. They're so huge and the risk management's very difficult. Like I'm looking at that Tesla chart. Again, I'm not telling you to buy or not buy. It's just I see a red kind of bigger spinning top high wave candle and it's like, that's very difficult. Ideally, you want to get that nice little entry, a small little candlestick or a hammer, maybe a bounce off that 200, see price go up. And ideally, you'd like to see it go up, get above the moving average lines, have them cross and go back up again. But we got to watch and see. But how many people bought Tesla at $968 and it's at $430 now? Buy the dip. Should you have bought in the dip on Tesla at, again, 228 would have been a great dip. If you wanted to buy Tesla's dip on 228, the bounce off that 50 SMA, you would have gone from, if you got it off the 50 SMA, $614, and maybe you got out on that rejection 2 days later and the failure of the moving average lines. So right there, you'd have $615 to $745, right? What is that? 140 or $50 profit in 2 or 3 day period. The problem with the mentality of people is let me buy the dip and I'm going to hold forever because Tesla's at $600 and it was just at 968. So if I buy it today, it's going to go way up over $1,000. That's people's mentality nowadays. The problem is they don't see resistance up at those moving average lines and at rejecting at $800, creating kind of a different head and shoulders, not a full one, but it had like a kind of a falling, sloping, double top head and shoulders pattern. Do you guys see the problem with this? So, but everybody asks us now, right? They come on and like, what should I buy right now? I'm going to buy tomorrow. I'd buy tomorrow potentially if there's a reversal, look at that 200 SMA and then look at daily resistance and then go to an hourly chart and look on the hourly and say, okay, hourly, you have the sloping down channel. It might be a falling wedge. Then you got to look at that $489 resistance at the 50 SMA on the hourly. And then I'd look at the daily after that and see, okay, there's a gap potentially right on the daily, right around 495. So this is where we try to teach people, what's your exit strategy, right? If you're going to buy the dip now on any stock or the market, what's your exit strategy? Are you planning on just holding forever? That's where people get burnt. Here's a perfect example. My friend asked me Tesla a few days ago. I didn't even want to look at the chart because I would just laughed. I'm like, the thing is just awful. But where are you going to buy it? If you want to buy now, maybe it holds the 200, but what if you buy and it doesn't hold the 200 and now it collapses down to go to a weekly chart? It could fall to 350 at the 50 SMA on the weekly, right? At the 200 SMA, let's go to the monthly. So at 350, it still could fall to the 20 EMA on the monthly. That's 364. Actually, you can go to that 50 SMA on the monthly. That's 299. So what I'm saying to you guys is you got to watch for the reversals. What if you're like, hey, I'm just going to buy at 350, but if you don't see a reversal and it goes right down to 300, what if it fails just because the 50 SMA is down there doesn't mean it's going to hold. What if it fails the 300 or the 50 SMA and it drops down to $200, that support level right around 190? What if we shut down the country and all of those things? That's why we try to teach people, learn the patterns, learn the reversals. Very important. Just like going back to what I was saying kind of this in the beginning of this of, take the information you're learning, right? There's great potential buying opportunities, potentially long, but also very short, short bias. I'm trying to tell my friend this whole with Tesla, when I was saying one of my last videos that I did, the crackly one that didn't have the great audio, he said, well, he's like, he's antsy. He wants to buy, right? I got my $10,000. I want to buy it. I haven't had this extra cash. And then I said, listen, man, just wait. Take our courses, right? We have free courses. I said, wait, take your free courses. It doesn't matter if the stock market skyrockets to market, stock, rallies tomorrow to infinity. If Trump does this huge bounce and we have the biggest epic run of all time, so what? You'll make it another way, right? Let it go up, learn, right? Save your money, learn, let it skyrocket to all the times again. Maybe it'll form a double top at previous all-time highs, and then you know how to short, and you short it back down again, right? If you have the capital, don't rush. And that's what I was trying to tell people. If you have a financial advisor and they do not know stock charts, find a new financial advisor. Because if your financial advisor doesn't know stock charts, you're probably one of the people that's probably getting hammered on your 401k right now. So if you're someone that's my age, I'm 41, most people my age in their 401k would be in risky funds. Most people my age got hammered the past few weeks. If you had a good financial advisor, I'm sorry, that knew how to learn stock charts, they would do the right thing by their client and say, hey, this stock chart, whoa, way overextended. Let's put you safe for a little bit. Let's let this thing pull back a little bit, right? So why aren't financial advisors doing that? No shade or hate on the financial advisors, but that's a problem. You're managing people's money and you can't read a stock chart. I was telling people I know. I was warning them back in December, watch the videos. I was off by a couple months, it still ran up, right? That's what I even said in my videos. I said, guys, you can go safe right now and the market could still go up more. But if the market could go up another 10%, but it could fall 40% or 30 or 40%, did you want to be safer at that time, give up the extra profits? I mean, look, would you rather lose, give up 10% of extra profits, but not lose 30 or 40%, whatever it is? I mean, who the heck knows what's going to happen right now, right? But the problem is charts. If you know the charts, that's why if you're new and you're listening to this, there's always a good time. Don't worry, don't chase it. If you have money and you can't read a stock chart and you don't know, take the time to learn, save the money, and then there'll be another time. There's no, don't fear of it. Just like everybody's trying to say, well, after the financial crisis, you could have become a gazillionaire. Well, if you don't know how to trade, you don't know where your entry and exit strategies are, you'll blow up your account. And just like your financial, again, if all these financial advisors are so amazing, they wouldn't have allowed their clients to lose as much money if they knew how to read a stock chart. We're just traders, guys. We're telling you stuff. I told friends, and I warned people, and this is what frustrates me. I warned people that I know that are close to me about this. They laughed at me. They aren't laughing now. That's my rant. All right. So I see questions about, we don't know if the bottom is in yet. Yeah, I don't see a bottom yet. I mean, who knows? It may. There's just so much going on. It could skyrocket. That's why you guys notice, right? Trump talked about zero. The Fed dropped the rate down to zero the other day. And what did it do the next day? Was it the worst drop in history or something like that? You know what I mean? There's a lot going on, guys. When you're bailing out the world, right? James gets a bailout. Michael gets a bailout. Cole, you get a bailout. Patrick, you get a bailout. Everybody gets a bailout. I get a bailout. Jesus gets a bailout. Everybody. Not Jesus, but you know what I'm saying. All right. So what's your logic for SPY? Hopefully that helped. Let me pull up SPY real quick again. So SPY, right? Ouch. Ouch. It's just ouch, guys. I mean, if you pull up the SPY in a monthly right now, it's failing the 50 SMA. Guys, again, I'm watching the charts, but I'm logically preparing for a shutdown in the United States. I have no clue if one's coming, but you're shutting down basically everywhere. I don't know if New York City might be coming next or New York next. San Francisco gets shut down for 3 weeks, right? Everything's shutting down, bars and restaurants or whatever. I think I heard Cuomo was talking earlier. It's kind of like, okay, I think you're going to shut it down. It would make sense. I don't know. If they're next, you got to think they're preparing for the country. If you're preparing to give everybody money, it would make sense. So again, whether you like or dislike this, if everybody's getting shut down, right? It would be nice if everybody. So, right, guys, listen, let's call it like it is. It would be nice, right? If they shut down the country, everybody's out, not working for a month. It would be great if everybody can get their exact salary or more than they're making. That'd be great. The amount of that money would probably be astronomical. So realistically, that probably isn't realistic, right? So in the meantime, again, I'm not trying to be heartless for people that don't have money, but if your choice is to get nothing, you get nothing, you're out of work and you get zero, or you get $500 or $1,000. It doesn't take away your pain of all the other stuff you're not getting, but you'd be getting potentially something, right? So I'm just thinking if people are getting something right now, because most people are probably panicking because they live paycheck to paycheck, most people. So that's terrifying because most people can't. Like if they're out of work, that's terrible, right? So I'm not diminishing that by whatsoever, right? So now if you're starting to give people $500 or $1,000 or something, whatever, it would make sense. You're trying to prepare people to get ready. Hey, relax. We've been preparing you. Maybe we're going to shut you down real soon. Don't worry. If you can't at least eat, hey, I know the bill thing has got to be awful, but at least maybe you can eat. So maybe, you'd think logically, if you shut things down, people don't kill themselves running to a grocery store, right? So maybe your bills aren't paid, but if you know you're going to be able to feed your family and your kids, maybe it takes the edge off, right? But everybody that's the thing that's frustrating when I see this stuff. Immediately everybody's like, XYZ. It's just terrible. When you fund all this money, this is economic terrible. This is terrible news. None of this bailout, all this stuff. It's terrible. But Trump has said, right? Trump has said we might have the biggest bounce back in history. Maybe it's a lie, or maybe he's just going to use the tools of the Fed, right? At the end of this, let it drop down. So looking at the chart of the SPY, the 200 SMA in the monthly, that could easily, what will happen if you shut down a country? I'd be shocked if it didn't go down that level. That'd be catastrophic. But what are the tools that they can now use after 2008? Will they use them? I don't know. I'm going to watch the charts. So I'm staring at this, looking at the SPY right now, thinking if they shut the country down, who the heck knows right now? Maybe it's something crazy and it'll bounce back up immediately, but that's terrifying down there. But I can't tell you what to do either way because I'm staring at the charts and the charts are just, you throw up your hands up. So that's why you can do things like day trading, right? So these are ways that you can make money in our trade room. We teach this every day. There's profit on the way down and the way back up. But if you're trying to go long term right now, I look at that SPY and I'm like, it dangerously went down to almost that 230 marker. If that fails, it's failing. It's failing the trend line moving up. If it fails that 50 and it fails that 230 level, it could be catastrophic. But then again, we'll see. We'll see what Trump does. Does he let it fall and do nothing? Or does he prop it up? Again, take your emotions out of it. You have to think logically, prepare, look at the charts and see. So if you're one of those ones on the sideline that has money, take your emotions out of it. If you don't know what you're doing, if your advisor doesn't know charts, hold that money, learn. Who cares if you miss a run up again? If it goes up, you'll find another one. You'll short it on the way down, right? Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Next support. Prop it up and hop it up. We'll make it to the next 4 days. Yeah. Again, guys, that's where I'm trying to it's you should want, there's a lot of emotions on all ends, guys. And you see a lot of today you should, again, seriously, regardless of your political opinion, if you're going to get nothing, but you get something, would you like more? Of course. Who wouldn't? Right. But this is crazy stuff. We've never seen, I don't know, not in our lifetimes. We've never seen this stuff. This is crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Back in 9/11 happened, if you really think about it, when 9/11 happened and it brought the country together for a period of time, and then human nature takes over and then it disconnects again, right? There was a period of time that people came together and seemed to, come together and love each other and show extra enthusiasm, right? And then you go back to life, right? But here's the difference, right? Back then you could have human contact, right? So a Democrat could hug a Republican could hug a Democrat, right? A pro-lifer could hug a pro-choicer, right? Whatever you want to call it, right? You could do all that. Now we're facing something where they shut things down, and guess what? Now you're almost being told don't even hug your loved ones, right? Forgetting those on different party aisles. Now don't hug your brother or your sister because you can infect them. Don't walk down the street because you could be a carrier and kill, hey, you could be a carrier that kills your grandparent that you love. That's crazy shit, guys. Sorry to say, but that's crazy shit. Sorry, Jesus. But you know what I'm saying? That's crazy shit that we're living in right now. So guys, we're in this with you guys. I ain't going to pretend like this is easy. This is hard for everybody. It's going to be very, very hard. It's very difficult. I do love Angel. Pain in my butt. Angel ticked me off the other day. Said, don't give me a hug. See, guys, I was prepared and I was trying to hammer people, friends and loved ones to get prepared last week. I told people last week, people that know me, I said, get prepared. The stores are going to sell out the weekend. People are going to start to panic. Last week was worry. I said, you're going to go into the weekend. There's going to be panic. What did it do? Panic. What are people doing now? The talks that are going on behind the scenes are probably we're going to find out someday. They'll make movies about it. Probably make 2008 look like Child's Play. This is serious stuff that they're doing. So this is the chance. And I was talking to friends about this. Am I trading right now? Cole, I ain't. Me personally, no. We're doing all, if you guys are familiar with the bullish bears, we're kind of what you see was what we get. It's us doing everything. So I'm literally doing blogging behind the scenes. I'm trying to do all this stuff, again, we're just kind of, Dan used to call us a Seattle garage band. We're just regular guys doing this all ourselves. We're not outsourcing. We're not doing this stuff. So I'm sitting there doing all the stuff behind the scenes on the website stuff. And for those that know me by now, I can't do it. I can't like blog and trade. I can't like teach and trade my brain. I just can't do it. I'm either going to trade or I'm going to do this. And right now I ain't doing any of it right now. Charts are too nuts for me. And I'm probably giving up way too much profits. It is what it is. I don't care at this point. So, and I was talking to friends, was it another one today? But this is what I was trying to say, guys. In all of the doom that's going on right now, there's a very big chance. Like, so this is your like decisions that you can make, right? So you have the chance, again, it's kind of like it's different than 9/11, right? And in other tragedies in this world, right? It's a different one, but it has a chance to make you better. And I've been reflecting on that myself. It's like, am I going to come out of this bitter or am I going to come out of this better? Sounds good, right? Cliche phrase, right? Am I going to come out bitter or better? And that's the thing is many people are attached to this world, myself included, right? There's so many things I'm so attached to. In the start of this process, I've been preparing, right? Freaking out like many other people. Hey, got to go, go, go. When are they going to pull the trigger? Got to have enough food, all that stuff, right? In the process, then you start to slow down. You start to say, huh, I have this freezer stock. I probably have food for 2 months or 3 months. I don't even know. But then you start worried about like, oh man, I don't know if I want to have these 5 Doritos right now because I might want them in a month from now, right? You start thinking of weird stuff. Hey, I'm using this tin foil. It's got some pizza sauce on it. Maybe I'll wipe this sauce off because I don't want to go to the store and be around a bunch of sick people, right? That's a lot of people don't realize what they're not saying to you if you think about it, guys. If grocery stores are open, that's fantastic so you can go get food. I've been telling people, get your shit now because people think about it. If you're cooped up in a house for 2 weeks or 3 weeks in this kind of time frame, you can get the common cold, right? Forget coronavirus, you can get the common cold. Now, what if you have a weak system and you go get the common cold and then you know what I'm saying? Now you're running out in public. If you have 5,000 people that live around your one grocery store and everybody's running to the one place that's open, some have weak immune systems, buy your food now so you can chill at home so you don't go around the crowds. I try to tell people this. It makes common sense, but they don't listen. I'm not trying to scare them. I'm just saying, like, don't you have food for the next month? No, I have it for 2 weeks. What are you doing? Like, go out now and buy another 2 weeks so you can chill at home. I'm too tired. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're going to go around crowds and then people like, like, well, yeah. Well, if they listened to me last week, they're chilling. I do have a friend that did listen to me who's a teacher. He's got a month's vacation. He's chilling at home. He's got all the food he wants. I went to Costco with him, got all the good stuff. Guess what happened the next day? They sold out of all the ramen. We got the 48 pack of ramen. If you wanted ramen, I was prepared. Him and I both got 48 packs, right? About a 48 pack case. I don't even know. It's cheap, $15. Next day, they sold out of ramen because you listen, you're prepared. I'll tell you what, after all this, I was never a prepper before, but after all this went down, I'm preparing moving forward. I'm always going to have a month or two supply of food and toilet paper and all that stuff. I'm keeping on hand. It's smart to do. You don't have to go crazy, but guys, think about it in general. We're all going to come through this. We're going to make it through. Hopefully, whether you love or hate Trump, you should all be hoping that he does something to save the stock market for everybody's sake. I mean, just be a decent human being. You know what I'm saying? If you hate the guy, you know what? Your family or loved one might love the guy, might have their entire life savings. You want this thing to go back up. At least, this could devastate so many people. So in the end, do you want to become better from this or bitter? You're going to become bitter or better? We have the chance to become better. You're going to appreciate toothpaste and toilet paper and not be wasteful of those things. I'm trying to self-reflect and get to that place. I ain't there yet. I'm waiting for them to shut it down so then I have no so I could turn off the news if I want to and just not have to go anywhere, But that's the chance, right? We're so attached to our cell phones and technology and all of these things, right? We're not used to being told. When's the last time you've been told no as an American, right? Not in our lifetimes, right? Nowadays, you can charge a house. You can go out today and you can charge a car you can't afford. You can buy a house you can't afford, but you can't buy toilet paper. Puts things in perspective, guys. Very, very important. So I'm 20, working on 5,000, 2 to 5 year portfolio, still deciding if I want to go high risk or all blue chip companies. Have you been studying, Cole, at all, the charts at all? Have you gotten to that place yet? Man, I've been ranting for a while. I might stop. Now the question is, what do I eat for dinner? Right? I do have lots of soups and pastas. So I'll have to see what I'm going to eat. I haven't decided yet. That was my rant, guys. That just made me lightheaded. Okay, you understand support and resistance? That's good. That's it. So that's where you can look and see right now. I'd wait, watch. Wait for the bounce, wait for the reversal. Chipotle, no, I'm not going out. Too much sodium, Five Guys. Yeah, guys, I am self-quarantining. I'm doing a responsible thing, right? The CDC and the government's telling me to be responsible and to take this seriously, and I'm taking this seriously. And I want to make sure I don't hurt anybody in the process. So I'm going to be a responsible person. I'm going to self-quarantine. Now that my audio works, I can talk my frustrations out to you guys. And then hopefully you guys won't yell at me for saying I have crackling audio during a crisis. Takeout, yep, government says that's okay. Yep, that's true. I got a pizza last night. I have 3 DiGiorno's in my freezer. I have 3 DiGiorno's, a 48 pack of ramen, lots of beefaroni. I mean, guys, that's why I'm wearing a little bit of black here today. It's slimming, so you can't tell. Got the video up higher here, so you won't see. Maybe you guys, we can see over the coming weeks if my gut gets bigger. I'm taking walks, guys. Walks are really good. The hipster Jesus painting, that's actually my favorite picture of Jesus. Most people that I show hate that picture of Jesus. I don't know why. I look at that, I'm like, he seems like a nice guy. You know, many of the ones I see are very serious, and I'm like, or this one right here. Have you guys noticed that one? This is a brand called, I think it's called Bearded Man. I think it is. So what's he holding? He's holding a net, like a fisherman's net. So when I see that picture of Jesus, I always feel like I like that. He seems like a nice guy. A lot of people say that picture of Jesus creeps me out. Right? Oh, I love Trump. Oh, I hate Trump. Right? Oh, Tesla's going to go to the moon. No, it's not. Bitcoin's going to the moon. No, it's not. Right? Everybody's got an emotion. Yeah, listen, here's the thing, guys. I don't normally eat those soups and those ramens and those types of things. I don't, but at this point I was just like, I don't know. You turn on the news on both sides, right? This is what ticks me off. This really ticks me off. Wasn't Joseph the fisherman? Well, yeah, I wasn't saying Joseph was a carpenter. Peter was a fisherman. So that's probably showing like the Sea of Galilee is holding a net. I went out to the Sea of Galilee. That place is amazing. So this is what I was trying to say to people. Something that drives me nuts, right? You have 24-hour news talking about this, right? 24 hours of 24 hours a day of news on both sides. Doesn't matter whether you watch Fox News or CNN. 24 hours a day, over and over about the coronavirus, right? The doomsday music. And telling you over and over and over, all these people infected and dying, right? So you get that every day, 24 hours a day, right? Then people last week, they go out and start cleaning off the shelves, right? And then they just let it happen. Hey, everybody's clearing off the shelves. Hey, look it, no more toilet paper. Look, no more toilet paper. Look, no more toilet paper. Look, no more toilet paper. You get that every day. So what are people going to do? They're going to freak the hell out and they're going to go try to buy toilet paper. And then they're going to see none and they're going to start hoarding and buying off the shelves. And then you get all the people that are pissed off. Hey, these people are hoarding. What are they doing? What are they doing? Whatever. Well, they're listening to what they're being told. Something bad's happening. You can't fault people. Then you know what they do after everybody clears off the shelves? Don't panic. You're telling us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to indirectly panic. People react. I don't blame the people, right? It doesn't matter what news station, whether you love Trump or hate Trump. It's same on both sides. So I feel bad for the people. They're listening. That's why I'm taking it seriously. I take this virus very seriously. I'm prepared. Do I really think Tesla won't be 1,000 by the end of the year? I have zero clue. I'm going to watch the charts. We'll have to see if we get that huge huge bounce and bump in the stock market. All right, guys. So I say this, guys. This was just kind of trying to chat with you guys. I go on my rants usually. It'll probably help me stay sane moving forward too, because we're all going to be probably more than likely cooped up in a house. I've never been more thankful to be single and not have kids in my entire life, because I can't imagine what it's like to be a parent in all of this. That's got to be awful. Awful in a meaning like stressful. Terraform. What is that symbol? Let me say. T-E. Terra. Why is it not pulling up? F-O-R-M. Do you have the symbol for that? Terraform. Oh, TERP. T-E-R-P, I think it is. That's a monthly chart. Okay. The monthly is kind of a disaster. The daily. Guys, these charts are just such a mess. You have just a huge engulfing candle today, but then you have the moving average lines above. The problem is it's like, you know, when you see the stuff, you look at all these big candles, there's not really just this clear, small reversal. You know, I mean, you have this big engulfing pattern near resistance levels. It's tough, guys. What you ideally like to see is when it's riding those small little moving average lines all the way up, and you can just ride that 9, take your profits when you see those dojis, reversals, spinning tops, and then wait for re-entries. But again, that's my style. When I'm looking at a chart, like most of the stuff now, I hate the charts right now. I like low risk. That's just me personally. Well, if you want to learn what I'm showing you guys here now, guys, we have free courses on our website. You can go to bullishbears.com. I don't know if I'm going to put links on this because I get shade sometimes, right? There's some people that are like, oh, you're talking about the coronavirus, but then you're selling the stock market. I'm like, you know what, guys? Everybody sells something on YouTube, right? So now I'm saying, screw you. I'm not putting a link when I talk about something that's not specific stock. Well, the bailouts are they are stock market, so I can get away with that. So I don't know if I'll put one in here, but if I do, if not, you'll see the header Bullish Bears. Right when you go on our homepage, you can take our free courses. So that's my advice for you guys. If you're brand new and you're listening to this, you want to learn the stock market, you don't know what you're doing, it's okay. Breathe, learn. Let's put it this way, we're all going to have a lot of time if you want to learn more recently. We're probably going to be on our houses for a while. So you'll be able to hear my voice a lot if you want to take our courses, because there's a lot of me rambling about stuff with stocks. All right, guys, you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. One evening, Bullish Bear stream futures. Yeah, Rose does futures. She's always chatting. Rose's days that she does futures is on Thursdays. So on Thursdays, Rose does futures in the morning and in the afternoon. And then we record the streams as well. Stay safe out there, guys. Now that my audio works, I'll talk to you guys more. Stay healthy. Keep that immune system up. Do whatever it takes to keep your immune system going. Be prepared. Again, have the supplies on hand if you can afford them. All right, we're going to get through this. I don't believe I can ask Jesus, Jesus, is this the world ending? I don't think it's ending yet. So I think we're going to make it through, but we got to be prepared. So I don't think the world is ending. That would be a good thing. What do I know? I haven't seen him return yet that I know of, unless anybody knows that Jesus is hanging around. To the meantime, I think we're going to be okay. Later, guys. I'll catch you later. Enjoy.